Hi everyone, this is BritSimon. This should be a quick video just with regard to DV2022. Some people have been asking me if DV2022 will go ahead. The answer to that is clearly yes, of course it will go ahead. And the entry period we know is typically in October, and so that's going to be announced in due course, I'm sure, and DV 2022 will go ahead. It's important to understand that although Trump would like to stop the lottery program, he can put blockers in our way in terms of the processing, but he can't stop the program. The program continues even now, whilst some people are blocked by the various immigrant bans, etc. The process is continuing for people doing adjustment to status, for people who've got exemptions, and so on. The process continues. Now, the piece of news I have for you today has been actually out for a few days. I've been trying to find confirmation of it, but I thought I'd just publish this information a little bit early. Kind of hilariously, last year I was able to find some information on the DV lottery process last year. And the government published their information too quickly. They published it unofficially by making the instructions available, and they really hadn't meant to at that time. And this was September 18th of 2019. It was several days after that, towards late September, that the actual announcement came out. So we expect normally for the announcement to be sort of mid to late September, and for the entry period to be in October, and be somewhere around the beginning of October, and then finish early November. That's the entry period that we're expecting. Now, if you do what I did last year, which is take the instructions and modify it, the instructions for DV 2022 are not yet available. And if you go to most embassies, they have some information. So if we look up, I don't know, the London US Embassy. So let's just look up that one. We'll see if we can get to that. If you go to any of the embassy websites, they should have some of the information, available for us. So if we look at here, let's see, where's DV Lottery? Let me get the DV Lottery page here. So Google is your friend, right? London US Embassy DV Lottery. Okay. DV Diversity Visa Program. Right. So right now, the stated information on the London US Embassy, and you can do this with any of the US embassies, lists the DV 2021 visa program opening and closing dates. So it was October 2, 2019 to November 5, 2019. And that matches exactly with the information here, right? So it's DV 2021. There is no DV 2022 information. It's October 2, 2019 to November 5. That was the same end date, right? Yes. Okay. So that is the information that you should find on every embassy website. Then you go to the Cuban embassy, bless their cotton hearts, so they've got information which is similar, but you can see that they've got the online registration period for the 2021 diversity visa program opens on October 1 and closes November 5th, 2019. Hang on a minute, that's different, you say to yourself. October 2, what's going on there? And so the dates, this says October 2 to November 5th. The London one says October 2 to November 5th of 2019. And the English translation or the English version of the Cuban website, Cuba Embassy website, has the wrong date, right? So that's a little bit suspicious. You wonder why that is. Then if you look at the Spanish version of the website, they have here, this says that the DV 2022 program will start on the 1st of October of 2020 and end on the 3rd of November 2020. right? So this is actually, I believe, a leaking of the information. It could be a simple mistake, but I think this is a leaking of the information with regard to DV2022. There are two mistakes here. Number one, the Spanish language version has the 1st of October and ends 3rd of October, but the point is they're not supposed to have announced this yet, and it's clearly about DV 2022. And then there's been some correction happen on the English version here, so that they've now changed this to being 2021, but they've still got the October 1 date. So it's kind of a mess. The Cuban embassy obviously are confused themselves. And we can read into that a couple of things. Number one, it could be a simple mistake, and the English page, if you look at the English version of the page, it's only got one mistake, right? October 2 should be here. Apart from that, it exactly matches the London embassy, the official instructions, and so on. But for them to have made a mistake on the Spanish language page, they had to make a mistake here, and here, and here, and here, right? So I don't think they've messed that up, on and here also. So I don't think they've messed that up completely. I think this is the real information that they've somehow got advance notice of, and so that the DV 2022 entry period will begin on the 1st of October and end on November the 3rd. I checked those dates. They're both logical dates. They're both weekdays. That's fine. This could easily be accurate information. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure. I would put my confidence level at about 95% sure that this is the correct dates. We'll see this announced in due course, but it's not going to be announced for about another month or so officially, perhaps even 5 weeks from now. I thought I've been sitting on this information for a few days. I understood immediately as soon as I saw it what was going on, but I was trying to see if there would be some sort of confirmation of this in other embassies, and so far I've not seen that. Okay, so I thought I'd better just put the information out there anyway and let you know. All right, so I hope that was interesting to you. It does confirm DV 2022 is going ahead. That was also confirmed, by the way, on the visa bulletin that it was going ahead at least. So if we look at that visa bulletin, we look down here. The DV 2022 is mentioned. Oops, oh dear. DV-2022, I believe, yeah. Dates for the DV 2022 registration period will be widely publicised, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it confirms there that DV 2022 is going ahead, and there's never been any doubt about that. As I say, Trump can do many things in his position as president for the remaining time he's there, which hopefully won't be long. But he can't stop the scheduling of this program. Okay, so there you go. That's the information I have for you today. Hope this was interesting. By the way, while I'm talking about DV 2022, I'm going to be asked about 1,000 times over the next 5 weeks, I'm sure. So let me just answer it now. If you're a previous winner of, if you've won DV 2021 or DV 2020 and you're waiting or whatever, can you enter again? Yes, of course you can. Anybody can enter. In fact, if you look at one of the videos I did last year, I have a green card. I got my green card through the DV lottery several years ago, but I entered last year, didn't win, but I entered last year, and anybody is free to enter. Entry is not a problem, right? So you can enter, and if you are a DV 2020 or 2021 winner, why not enter? There's absolutely no harm in doing that. There's no connection. It doesn't mean your 2021 application is somehow invalidated or anything like that. Go ahead, enter. There's no harm in doing that. And I do expect the number of entries, as I mentioned, roughly this time last year, the number of entries this year were much lower than recent years. So last year was the first time in several years that you'd had a really good chance of selection so for DV2021. I think that will happen again because I'm expecting them to leave the passport rules in place for DV2022. And I think it's fairly clear that the passport measure, which was designed to reduce duplicate entries, has done its job pretty well. And so the number of qualified entries in 2020 for DV 2021 was much lower, and I expect that trend to continue into next year. So this really is, you need to enter. You've got the best opportunity to enter, this year. So why not do it? And please do it only through the official website. It's a free process. You don't need to pay anyone to do that for you. It's very simple. I'll produce a video nearer the time, or I'll repeat a video on how simple it is. It really is a simple process. And if you let somebody else enter for you, you are making yourself a victim to whatever fraud they want to throw against you, right? So please don't do that. Enter for yourself. You can enter on a phone, you can enter on a PC or a Mac, or you can enter through an internet cafe, whatever. But do it yourself. Okay, very, very simple. You can take your own photo, and you can do everything with a phone. So there's no excuse and no reason to pay someone to do such a simple thing for you. And by paying someone to do that thing for you, you're almost certainly making yourself open to being blackmailed basically by that person who has all your details. So please don't do that. All right then. Okay, everyone keep well. Bye bye now.